Okay, should be live now. Hope everybody is doing well. And yes, we made it. We made it. Season 10 is here. Season 10 is here. Um, I'm going to say this right now. Some people might not agree with me, but sorry for the shaking up. Sorry. My chair's a bit too close to the desk. So when I was banging my arm down, I gave this episode a 10 out of 10. And I know some people are like, Jeremy, it's because Cheyenne took that robe off, right? Yeah, dang right. Okay, jokes aside, Maurice carried this episode on his back. Maurice carried this episode on his back. And it's sad because we probably lost Sabrina. And I was right how towards the end of the episode it would get rough in terms of the characters. Now, don't get me wrong, it started off a bit shaky. There were some things I didn't necessarily like, but, and I have to say this here, I'll probably say this in my episode review, but this episode hit home because yesterday afternoon, my sister was in a bad wreck. She was leaving my mom's house to go to work. Basically, the accident was maybe 5 minutes from my house. She wasn't coming here. She actually came around 10:30 or 11 a.m. to drop my nephew off because he started school today. And he was supposed to come back at 1. And I'm like, why didn't you come back at 1 o'clock? Why are you here early? And she was like, well, he said he was ready to come back. Now, the thing is, well, I don't think this would have been the case because she usually leaves for work around 3 or 4. It's a good thing that he came back when he did, because for all we know, if she waited to just drop him off as she was going to work, he probably would have got caught in the accident too. It was a total loss for both vehicles. It was not her fault. Like, she was going down the road and a car that was supposed to turn to go into its driveway hit her, and it was a total loss. And she got banged up. She has like a cast on her hand, a boot on her foot. She got x-rays and everything yesterday and today. And then tomorrow I got to take her into town to get her medicine and double check on the police report. But insurance is going to cover, I believe, most of everything, like a new vehicle. I think her job is working with her in terms of like paid off time, I believe, or it'll make up for it. And yeah, so that's why certain scenes during this episode hit different. So I know that's a bit biased in terms of how I score the episode, but in terms of Maurice's acting, I could relate. So to me, that's why it's a 10 out of 10. Now, I saw somebody give it like a 7. Had it not been for real world events in my life, this episode would have been like a 6 or a 7. But because of Maurice, in terms of how he was acting, like, it was relayed to me quickly. Hey, your sister was in an accident. She's, at the hospital. Well, my parents, went and did all that stuff, and they told me about it. So it wasn't like, she was in a cast or anything. She was at the hospital getting checked out. She's a bit bruised, but like I said, after the first couple of days, those kind of things happen. But like I said, it could have been worse. It could have been worse than what it was. Lost the vehicle like Andy did, but at least she's alive. So thanks for all the prayers and good wishes. Yeah. So let's talk about the episode itself. I agree that they did kind of drag out the Sabrina stuff, but it makes sense. Like I said, they were building the suspense, And I know somebody on, I believe it was my season finale review, or it was my video about, oh, Sabrina, is she dead? Somebody said the way they showed the slow motion impact of Sabrina's accident, it hit me hard because, and I'm talking about a comment, not my situation, but a comment that I saw. Somebody said they lost their sibling in a car accident. And it was like, Death on Impact. And I looking at the Sabrina scene, I'm like, I wonder if that was my siblings like final moments, like everything slowed down, they flipped over and everything. So, man. Oh man, that was wild stuff. Oh yeah, that was you. Okay, well yeah. Oh, my bad. I didn't see your chat kind of buffered, so your chat literally just popped up. Yeah, accident 3 years ago. Yeah. The end credit. The doctor was asking if it's okay to share the details with her condition with everyone. Did anyone go to jail? I don't think so. I don't really know. I want to be honest. I don't know all the details. I just know that it wasn't my sister at fault, and both vehicles were total. I think the woman said she didn't see my sister driving down the lane, but because I don't know. I mean, I know exactly where it took place because that's the route I take whenever I go to my mom's house. But see, I don't know. I'm different. Like I always, I'm a slow driver. I'm not really one to fly. And my sister claims she wasn't speeding, and I'm like, okay, because obviously it's like, are you okay? But then being her brother, I know how she can drive at times. I'm like, were you going fast? And because we live out in the country where there's deer, so I don't go more than 45 on these roads. And the road to my parents' house is like there's a curve, and I always go slow because one of them houses they have chickens and dogs that are in the road sometimes, so I always go slow. Okay, wait, hang on. Oh, did anyone go to jail? You're talking about the episode. My bad. I'm sorry. Yet again, thank you all for wishing my sister well. I'll keep you updated, if she wants to share that information. But yeah, I'll keep you posted on that. But let's talk about the episode. That's what you're here for. Again, thanks for all the well wishes and prayers. So yeah, thumbs up the video. Check out all the various content I've been posting. I've been looking at the numbers and y'all been running them up. I appreciate that. But yeah, Cheyenne. Now, somebody's in the DMs like, yo, is Cheyenne your new Jasmine? Jasmine is irreplaceable, but Cheyenne is a close second. I honestly felt some kind of way about Andy's mom. Now, first of all, Andy's mom being as headstrong as she is, I don't know about Andy's mom, and I don't know about y'all's mom, but if I were in an incident like Andy was, and the paramedics were like, Mr. Carden, you need to go to the hospital to get checked out. I don't want to. I'm not doing that. My mom would have threw me in the back of that ambulance and shut the door like, yo, we going all right. Because I'm just like, there is no way. This is just like Zatima season 3 after Jeremiah attacked Fatima and left her knocked out on the parking garage ground. And then when the cops showed up, Angela was like, Fatima, we need to go to the hospital. No, I'm not doing that. I hate when characters do that. I get it. It's a plot point. For example, had Andy went to the hospital, she probably would have found out about the Sabrina thing earlier, but no. And yes, I wholeheartedly agree. We're going to get back to Maurice. Trust and believe. I have a lot of great things. I have a lot of great things to say about Maurice. I can relate to this. And like I said, maybe I'm being a bit biased, but it's certain moments that I can relate to. When your parent or parents try to force you to make peace or whatever with a family member, but it's like, why? Blood is thicker than water. You cannot choose your family in terms of blood relationships, but usually your family, aka your friends who become family, they have a stronger bond than your own blood. And I think it is incredibly ridiculous that her mom would weaponize her cancer to force Andy and her sister to make peace. Like, you don't get to pop up out of the blue and then drop a bomb like, yo, I got cancer, and then make it where my sister stays with me without even talking to me about it first. That is a huge. I cannot believe I am an Andy apologist. After all the stuff I've been saying, I cannot believe this is just like Fatima in season 3 of Zatima. Could not stand her. Fatima in Zatima season 4, I support her. Now, Andy, I can't tell you how many seasons of Sistas I could not defend her. I did not like her, but I'm already defending her in this first episode. And secondly, Andy needs therapy immediately. Because at the beginning of season 9, we saw her with PTSD after seeing Jasmine getting shot or getting killed, and then Hudson turned a gun on her. And she was breaking down in her office, but we never saw her deal with that. Then she was clearly having PTSD while she was sitting at the kitchen table in Zach and Fatima's house. This woman needs help. She does not need a man. Excuse me. She does not need a man. She needs to go to therapy. And like her mom is not helping this case at all. Like she's just making everything worse. I have no idea about assisted living. I did look, my inbox has been blowing up all day, but like I said, my sister, she went to the emergency room. Basically, it was like a follow-up on x-rays because my mom took her. She was like, hey, she was feeling sore and whatnot, but they said the x-rays they took yesterday showed us the whole story. Today and tomorrow, they're like, hey, after an accident like the one you had, the first 2 or 3 days will be rough. You just need some, pain meds and you'll be fine over time. So yeah, that's why I haven't been responding. And all the videos that got posted today, I already pre-recorded and I scheduled them. So if I did not respond to your message, don't feel bad. I've just been busy today, but I will try to catch up after I take my sister to the pharmacy tomorrow to get her pain meds. So please bear with me because somebody's like, hey, they dropped information on the Joe's College road trip release date. That new BET Plus series, Route 184 or something. So there's a whole bunch of stuff people have sent to me, but I have not responded yet. I'll get to it in due time. I just like the video. Thank you. Please, we got almost 300 people on here. If y'all can thumbs up the video. If you are new to the channel, please hit subscribe. We just hit 300K. And Sistas season 10 is off to a explosive start. Side note, the whole Tony crap, I would have deducted points, like I said, had it not been for the real life accident my sister was in, that would have docked points. The Tony stuff, I hate the way they are doing that. Like, you are, Negro, you are not the victim here. Okay? Shut up. I don't hate Tony's actor. Tony's actor is really nice. He jumped on the Twitter space with me before. But in terms of Tony as a character, I hate it. I hate it. Handle your business. We understand. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Was the cop unknowingly describing Sabrina's wreck? He said he was taking statements from the victims of the accident. One of them is in no condition to talk, and it doesn't look good. So, yeah, it does seem he was talking about Sabrina. I was a bit surprised Maurice not asking, hey, Sabrina Hollins, was she taken in? Instead of just vaguely describing a missing friend. But I get it. They had to drag out the episode. But that was the most frustrating part. But other than that, Maurice, top tier. Yeah, somebody said it. Maurice, top tier. And if I'm missing your comments, I'm sorry. I'm going through them as fast as I can. What about the wigs? I'm sorry. I'm not. Look, I don't really pay attention to that. So whose wig are you referring to? Sabrina did not cause the accident. No, it does not seem like it. I don't really rock. I haven't rocked with Sabrina as a character. I like Novi, but I have not really rocked with Sabrina for a while. So I do hate the fact that she seemingly got killed off. I just don't like that. Wait, what? Wait, I think somebody sent me the trailer. My bad. Hang on.
Cold Blue next Wednesday on BET. She's in cardiac arrest. Sabrina's my closest friend. She's so rough. Let's just keep the faith that she'll get through this. I am heading home to resume my chemotherapy. Please let your sister stay with you. Did something happen between you and Cheyenne that I don't know about? Sabrina. You okay? Jerry, something happened? How very sisters.
Okay. Man, the trailer for next week is rough. Oh man, I cannot wait to do that trailer breakdown. Man. Okay, so Andy's mom is going back to Florida for her treatments, and she wants Cheyenne to stay with Andy. But apparently, something happened between the sisters that she doesn't know about. So maybe this will give more insight. Now, low key, I will give her mom some credit. If there was some big thing that happened between Cheyenne and Andy that her mom does not know about, I'll lay off her just a bit. I still don't like the idea of her forcing Andy to take care of her sister. But then again, I will say this much. I would rather see Andy interact with her sister than with a man that is going nowhere in terms of relationship. So I can't be that mad. And no, it is not because Cheyenne is attractive. It's because of character development. Yeah, Sabrina was the voice of reason. Sabrina was more like an echo chamber. She would mimic the thoughts and opinions of those around her because she rarely had any of her own. She was a sweetie pie, but at the same time, she was toxic. Way too commercials. I can't lie. I was a bit too hung up on how real this episode was for me that the commercials, I welcomed the commercials because I needed a breather. I'm like, oh, wow, okay, this is heavy. And I hate to say this, but Fatima needed to sit down somewhere. I was not a fan of her trying to put Keys on blast. That was not the time to try to out him as Zach's father. Your girl almost got blown up. Blown up. And yeah, all of a sudden, hey, yeah, Mr. Keys, life is short. Is there anything you want to tell Zach? This was not the time. Read the room, Fatima. I hated to say that. I hated it because I actually think Courtney is going to do an amazing job with her this season, but I didn't care for it. I did actually, the flirtation between her and Zach, it was funny. They needed that small dose of comedy. Yeah. I didn't like that either. I love Fatima, but she was doing way too much. I agree. I don't like Danny's sister. You must be talking about Andy's sister. Dr. Samuels is a new character. Who is that? Are you talking about the white dude for the night? Okay, I'm actually going to try to catch up with these comments. Maurice was really good. Sabrina's gone. Maurice is going to break down. Yeah, I like the guilt, like showing Danny, hanging up. And I like how Zach was there to kind of pull her out of her grief. Yeah, I agree. Andy's mom overstepped. Just because you're her mom doesn't, I don't know. I mean, I feel some kind of way about people on their deathbed making unreasonable requests. It's like, like you should have said something earlier. Don't think because you dying, like I'm going to agree to some nonsense. Because I mean, you probably going to your grave with some grudges that are unhandled. So don't try to guilt me into making peace with people I don't mess around with. Yes, we got a new intro. I'm going to be honest. I did not pay attention to it. I was writing notes, so I missed it. I did see where somebody posted it on Twitter. Yes, I will do a video about it. I love Cheyenne. Okay, anyway, Fatima needs to back off. Look, I get her agitation because from her experiences with Zach's family, she has every reason to be suspect about Mr. Keys and his intentions. However, this is not the time. Like, if she wants to talk to Keys one-on-one and mention about, hey, Zach's mom did this to him. His brother did this to him. How do I know you're not here to mess up his life either? That is different than her just doing what she's doing. This is not the right way to go about it. Not the right way to go about it. They said Cheyenne was a hairstylist. Yes, she is talented hairstylist, I believe. And if you haven't already, I have done so many videos over the past 48 hours. You need to check them out. Fatima was acting like Belinda at the table eating shit. Yo, yes, she was. Episode was okay, but too many commercials. Is Andy's mom really dying? I don't know. I just don't like the idea of okay, 1 minute we're beefing. The next minute you tell me a life change. But I don't like how Andy's mom dropped so many bombs on her at once. It's like, hey, I'm dying. Hey, your sister's here. Hey, you need to take care of her. What? Yeah, I would feel mad too. I'm sorry, I would. Madison will be making her debut soon. I'm glad they did not cram it into this episode. Honestly, I don't think Cheyenne was needed in this episode. I cannot believe I'm saying that, but I don't think it wasn't needed. I think they could have just waited a bit longer. I think they could have, honestly, I think they needed to conclude the Sabrina stuff first and then sprinkle in Cheyenne and Madison. That is just my opinion. Didn't like the intro. They could have done the intro with just the 3 girls for now and ease the other 2 in later. I would not have been mad. At least it would have given us 2 different intros. You know, like we start off the season with the 3, and then later on we add the other 2. I'm going to be honest. I don't know. When Zach was telling Fatima about, I want to protect you, I want to make sure nothing happens to you, I don't know what I'll do if anything happens, I immediately thought Zatima season 3. Zach, don't you go to jail. But I agree, and I get that Fatima's headstrong, the whole thing about, I'm not looking for a knight in shining armor, but I have to compare shows. In Zatima, she's always telling Zach, calm down, don't act out. Remember, it's me and this baby you got to think about. But the thing is, Fatima does not practice what she preaches. You cannot fault Zach for wanting to protect you. See, here's Fatima's problem. And look, I don't dislike Fatima, but I will call her out for this. Fatima needs to act like, I'm sorry. Fatima needs to stop acting like she can act like she did prior to being pregnant, going around with that gun and that baseball bat and everything. Like, you cannot fight every battle alongside your man. You cannot fight every battle by yourself. You are pregnant. You need to sit down somewhere. You need to take care of yourself, and most importantly, the little life that's growing inside of you right now. Like, don't get me wrong, her trying to rush to the fire, it makes sense. That's a realistic response. And I like how Zach took control of that situation. But when freaking Rich came out with the baseball bat like Babe Ruth, that made me laugh. He over there in the bathroom dropping bombs, and then he heard an explosion and decided to show up with that bat. Yeah, the bat was like, and then he's like, yo, Zach, you got a fire extinguisher? In the kitchen underneath the sink. I'm sorry. I'm laughing and the dang camera shaking. Dang, that was crazy. Yo, and I ain't gonna lie. I got mad at Paige there for a minute. It's like, how dare you put my brother in harm's way at your urban cookout? And I was so glad Maurice put her in her place. Like, wait a minute now. You ain't gonna talk to me any kind of way. I was like, yeah, you better, Paige. I just started liking you, so don't be messing it up. Don't be messing it up. I'm just checking my notes. Give me a moment. I did too. Paige was irritating me for a second. Dr. Cruz might hire someone to send Andy a message. I'm not going to hold you. I would drop that case. I'm sorry. Like, and if we're meeting Madison through Zach, I feel like she'll be another bonus sister like Fatima was. I agree. No, Rich better hope that toilet flushes. I think it's more so that they use pictures from the intro. Yeah, I did notice that too. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. That's very season 1. Okay. Andy calls Karen. Yeah, I saw that. I agree, Jeremy, about Cheyenne being in the first episode. Oh, you mean in terms of she wasn't exactly necessary in this episode? I believe they dragged the Sabrina situation too long, like get to the point. Yeah, I believe Dr. Cruz has something to do with the explosion. Yeah, she did feel bad. That scene redeemed her to me when she called Maurice. They sound kind of alike. I thought that was Sabrina calling Maurice. Nah, I didn't. I got to go back. I'm not saying you're wrong. I need to go back and listen to that scene. D, I don't want y'all to be mad at me. Okay, so D said, my only critique is that everyone almost acted as if Andy didn't almost get blown up. Pam wanting a drink, Maurice getting hungry, Fatima asking Mr. Keys about Zach. It seemed disconnected. Again, do not be mad at me, but here's what happened. So yesterday, my parents hang on. My parents stopped by. They had my sister. They were going to the emergency room to get her checked out. All right. Because they had to, the police came by the accident scene and this, that, and the third. So my nephew was here. All right. Remember, he got here early in the morning. They went into town and we called because I actually told my nephew, hey, you ought to call grandma to see if she can bring by some hot wings from KFC after she gets off of work. But she wasn't answering. And then an hour later, we found out about the accident. So later on, when they were at the hospital, my sister was in the emergency room. My parents were in the truck, waiting to, hear what was up. And my nephew called and it's like, can you bring us some KFC? And they were like, boy, at a time like this. And I was like, well, we actually just got off the phone with my sister and she's just waiting for the results. And I mean, KFC is 2 minutes up the street. Like, boy, I'm like, well, she gonna be all right. I mean, we hungry. I know it's so unserious, but I mean, I'm sorry. Sometimes like that, it's like when an emergency happens, worrying ain't gonna help, and I gotta eat. So when Maurice was talking about that food, I busted out laughing because I'm like, I did the same damn thing yesterday. And my nephew was like, don't forget the fries. So I'm sorry. Call it, maybe it's a black thing. Maybe it's being unserious, but it's like sitting around here worrying ain't going to help nothing. And y'all are right. So I will admit it did feel disconnected, but it felt relatable. Well, Cheyenne said she had to wash off her travel dirt. So maybe she just took a bath or something. New thought, is Sabrina still in the coma? I wonder if they pre-recorded her recovery scenes. Maybe. What if Penelope crashed Sabrina's car? We don't know yet. I am not 100% ruling that out. I liked how Maurice brought up Penelope though. Dang, Sabrina never got her happy ending. She had one hell of a night though. Y'all are too much. I don't understand the point of Andy's sister. It just felt so insensitive. At a time like this, I have to agree. But I'll give it a few episodes before I make my my opinion. Am I wrong for laughing for the way Andy was just laid out like that? The purse over here, her shoes done flew off. I even tweeted, she was laying on the ground like Santa Claus after Scott Calvin said, hey, you, and he fell off the roof. And I'm like, oh my God. It was so unserious. How do you get that close to the car blowing up, get knocked across the way, land on the grass, get no dirt or grass stains, and her clothes were into? It's like she just got up from a trip over herself. And I'm thinking like, Andy, what the? I wonder how Cheyenne's going to fit in the circle. I think this is the last season. I don't know. Yeah, the way she was laid out, I was dead. I was like, yo, I shouldn't be laughing, but I was laughing. And the fall took the flip out of her hair, though. Oh, my God. I say, how they going to fade Karen and Sabrina out? It don't feel right to me. I thought Andy was making snow angels. Me too. I can't believe we are the new adults. I'm sorry. I can't look. When it comes to moments of crisis, everybody has different opinions or different reactions. You have those who are freaking out. I'm usually the serious one because it's like, okay, somebody has to like answer questions to the police or the doctor or whoever. It's like, I loved how they played Maurice. When Danny got there, she immediately wanted answers, but Maurice was still in shock. And I like how I can't believe I'm saying this. I like how Tony was there to say, hey, give him a moment. And then he finally answered the question. Then when Andy showed up, Danny had to answer. That is very realistic. That is very realistic. I'm not going to lie. Andy felt more upset about her car blowing up than almost dying. I feel the show's ending around 11 or 12. I'm not even going to speak. I'm not even going to speak that into existence. I'm going to let Courtney do his thing. And if the show is good, I want it to continue. KJ said they did a lot of takes because she was pregnant. I figured that because I didn't think we'd see her like on her chest or anything like that. But it was funny. I do know they did a TikTok live. No, I did not watch it because my attention needed to be focused. There's a clip of YouTube of black people laughing in serious situations. It's like Cat Williams said, I'm going to ask if you're okay, and then I'm going to get my laugh on. The Tony and Danny crap, that was the worst part of the episode. Maybe Maurice called Zach and Fatima. I guess so. I'm not even going to think about it too hard. It makes sense. He was making the calls. I didn't even pay attention to her belly. I was laughing at the way she was laid out. So I didn't even pay attention to I think she even when KJ posted about doing the photo shoot for season 10, she said 5 months pregnant. Yeah, the whole begging Tony for I did not care for that whatsoever. I did not care for that at all. Oh yeah, the Gospel of Christmas, they did something for that. Tyler is pulling out the big guns. I do not want the show to continue. They should do what Power is doing in a prequel. I would love a prequel. I've been saying that for the longest time. Danny and Tony. I don't know why. It's like, oh no. It's like you messed around with someone else when we were still together. Like I said, maybe it's because I've been single since 10th grade, but something tells me if a woman throws me out after I took her money, we're done. I don't really know why he's still acting butthurt. Like, hey, if Tony wants to be there to like comfort Danny right now, okay, but they do not need to be together. Oh yeah, somebody sent me a clip of the trailer. I'm sorry, a clip of the opening title. Yeah, I agree. I don't like how it's just pictures of the ladies. I think seeing them move around would have been better. Looks hella seductive, but I mean, it looks good. I like the visuals, but I really wish we saw the women in motion. I think that adds something, a bit. It adds more pizzazz. Not 10th grade. Yes, I know. And my girlfriend at the time broke up with me the same night that she kissed me for the first time. And I'm like, wow, you stole my virginity and then you dumped me. And that is why I'm single. Someone take my money, we done. How long do you think Vaughn will be on the show? I don't know. His audacity to have an attitude. That is what is pissing me off. Exactly. If I kick you out, we're done. We're not together. Got to build up that cast chemistry first. All of a sudden, Tony did pay her back. After she threw him out, he called her later that same episode and said, your money's back. I'm like, what you got an attitude for? Oh, also, I didn't know this. I think they said KJ Smith Black. I don't remember if they updated her last name in previous seasons, but, well, they did now. I think that's cool. Lip Genity, My Wife and Kids. Bobby Shaw. It was there in season 9. I didn't notice it. I'm sorry. I never paid attention to the theme song in season 9 because it was the exact same thing. Tony did some things too towards Danny. Tony did more crap to Danny than Danny did to him. So I don't know why he's acting like he's the victim. Dude, no. When are we going to get a Zach and Fatima wedding? I don't know. Danny don't know how to treat a good man. Tony's not a good one. I agree. Yeah, they should have updated. I would not be against a opening update every season. Yeah, I'm only noticing the name change because I got the opening on loop right now in front of me. So, yeah, it looks good, but I really wish the women were moving around. Like I said, it's cool visuals, but I need a bit more. But that is just my opinion. Just my opinion. Danny did throw. Yeah, she threw all of his crap out. And yet all of a sudden, you cheated on me. Negro. Oh, yeah, it is Crystal R. Hazlett. Oh, okay. Now I feel like I got to look at every single opening and compare them. So Tony's getting on my nerves, not taking responsibility. How can you brush that off? Like, don't compare the money thing to what you did. I gave the money back. And then Dan sitting up there co-signing this nonsense. Now I'm not liking her for the way she's handling the situation. It is stupid, and I do not like it. Preston needs to stay on the Zatima. Yeah, he does not need to get back. How I cheated on you and we were broken up. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Preston would never. I mean, he never did, but he got treated like crap all the time. So I don't know what else to say about that. I still think it's funny he's there and not on this show. I'm cool with him being on Zatima. He is treated good over there. Yeah, because she was feeling guilty about Tony, which was stupid. Yeah, they always do that, cheating when they're not together. And then the women act like the men cheat on them. It's like when a man they friend zone or rejected goes out on a date with another woman, they want to get hurt like they're being cheated on. Man, ain't nothing. I'm like, you've been playing this man for 3 seasons, and he opted to give another woman a chance because that woman seems interested in them, and all of a sudden they're trapped. Like, get the heck out of here. So yeah, I'm giving Tony grief, but I'm not acting like these women haven't done the same crap. Tony says he borrowed it because he needed to make himself feel better. Yeah, there's a major difference between, I don't care what your intention is. Hey, I'm taking $50 out of your purse and I will put it back by the end of the day. But if I do not tell you about my actions, if I do not ask you, that is stealing. I don't care what you say. Borrowing and stealing, yeah. The officer is going to be a problem. If you stole from me, you never be allowed in the house. I'll tell you that. I'll leave that little, what did Rich say? I'll leave that gym bag right in front of the front door. You know what pissed me off? When Tony was like, listen, I know a lot of stuff happened between us, but that doesn't mean I want anything bad to happen to you. Negro, this ain't about you. And for you to have the audacity to say that, it's like, Danny, I'm mad at you for what you did, but don't think I want anything to happen to you because you hurt me. Bro, what is this writing? Sorry, Courtney, it's not 100% your fault. The other writers did this crap. It is stupid. It is stupid. Can we not talk about Tony? You know what? This is killing my whole vibe. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about something else. Anything else. You can't tell me you're going to do anything with my money. You can ask me if you can borrow. Yeah. Tell it, Jeremy, what plan is Tony on? Yeah. We're done. No more Tony. No more Danny. Until next week. Let's talk about someone. Okay. Yeah. So Maurice carried the episode. The comedy. Oh, hang on. I meant to ask you this a couple weeks ago. Do you know why Penelope knew about Zach saving Andy? Nope. I don't plot. I don't know. I know they act like he's the only officer in this town. Maurice was the best. Yeah, comedy was on point. Emotions was on point. Dylan held his own too. I liked him in this episode. That was good because Maurice needed a support. Lord, and if his friend is dead, he's going to need Dylan now more than ever. I know Andy's going to give Mr. Keys a look when he offered to take him to the rental car place. I'm like, dang. Can we cut the bank now? I don't know. We might have to because, I mean, if Maurice decides to quit his job, I don't know. Zach is going to be mad when he find out Keys is his dad. Yep. Oh. Andy did say she got a weird text. Then the car alarm went off. Then the car blew up. What was that text? Obviously, she did. It seems she doesn't know who sent it. Oh, yeah. And when Dr. Vaughn showed up, hey, what's going on? Oh, and then he noticed Andy, she ran over to him. Now, I'm going to be. This is a theory, and I could be wrong. In the trailer for the season, Andy and Vaughn are out at like a restaurant or something. And Andy says something to the effect of, it's like, I'm at a point in my life where I realize I have to be a better version of myself. The way she worded that, it seems to indicate that she doesn't want to get involved with Vaughn like that. It's like, I need to become a better version of myself, for myself, hopefully without a man. And I'm cool with that. If her and Vaughn have like a professional, semi-friendly dynamic like they should have had in season 9, bump all that making out crap, I will be cool with that. But if it turns out Vaughn gets caught helping Danny, his life could be in danger too. So I feel like no one on this show has family till it's convenient. That's what makes it so jarring. Didn't she say that before? She has said lines like this a whole bunch of times, but also have said men are trash after picking the same toxic man over and over again. She has said, I need to be single for a while. And yet she never holds up to that. And then she usually says something along the lines of, we deserve love. And I'm like, no, you do not. So Andy says these things, but I feel like with Courtney writing it, we're actually going to see her put it into practice. Even though Cheyenne came completely out of nowhere, I am more intrigued to see Andy and her sister than Andy with another man who will serve no purpose a season from now. Because if you think about it, if she knew about Zach saving Andy and she claims she is dating Robin, how come Robin didn't know about that? I'm not saying you were wrong, but considering that it was the other writers who threw in that one line, I don't know. It was like a Wild style during Wild and Out, so I didn't really take the encounter seriously. I think I'm going to like Cheyenne. She's shaking up the dynamic. I haven't liked Karen since season 2. Heck, I didn't like her in season 1. So will they bring back Gary? I don't. Somebody told me Cheeto's name did not show up when the character names were showing up after the credits. So I think Gary is gone. And I don't believe he was in the Deadline article. So Gary must have went to Ghana or wherever he was going with them kids off screen. And I'm okay with that. I get that, but I'm saying, how will the writers continue their characters on the show? I don't know. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. My bad. Andy always says she needs to be by herself. She still goes and be in a relationship. I hope they change it this season. They need to change that this season immediately. Also, I love how we've been consistently like at 250 to 300 people. I hope every Wednesday night we have the same thing. See, next day I have a dentist appointment at 10 a.m. So I can do a live stream after the episode, but I don't know if I can be up here that long because, I got to go to sleep and make sure I wake up on time. Knock on wood, I don't think I have any cavities, so it should just be a brief cleaning. Plus, I have dental insurance, so that should take care of the cost. So just know that next Thursday, you might get my episode review and trailer breakdown a bit later because, like I said, I got a dentist appointment at 10. Then I got a few errands to run after that. So just so you know, next week, you might get the review and trailer breakdown late Thursday or Friday. Gary is gone. Good riddance. Fatima and Zach, I was saying how they will continue now that Karen is gone. Happier. I did like how Zach told Fatima that Karen, Aaron, and Faith were very lucky to have missed it. So that confirms they were gone by the time the car went boom. Honestly, I was a bit nervous. I'm like, Zach, don't bring up that salon because he's like, yeah, Karen has already been through so much. And I'm like, yeah, okay, let's move on from that. Over 300, over 300 people in the chat. Hit the thumbs up button. We got, okay, we in the triple digits now. Yeah, go on. Hit that thumbs up button. Everything I read said Cheeto is still around. I go by deadline usually, and even if Cheeto is around, it's probably a heavily reduced role. I'm not saying Gary won't show up, but he is certainly not going to be a recurring character. Yes, a lot happier, but how will the writers keep them on the show? I don't. They'll do their thing. Courtney will do his thing. Agreed. The new actors were introduced too early, minus the doctor and nurses caring for Sabrina. I'm skipping all scenes with Andy's mom and sister. Oh, come on. Come on. See, that's the thing. I like how some people compared what Courtney's doing to like a president. It's like if the person before left a huge mess, you can't expect them to untangle the knots of that mess in one term or 1 year. When it comes to Courtney, this was episode 1. You can't sit up here and act like this episode, if it isn't a 10 out of 10, this season is going to be trash. There is a lot of stuff from season 9 that he has to work on before moving forward. I'm with her because I didn't like Andy's mom. They reduced Cheeto's role. Andy's more involved in her friendship than she is with her job. I agree. Robin is supposed to come back. I don't know. Give Courtney. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is just the first episode. It's just like Zatima season 4. That first episode, it tied up loose ends from season 3, but then season 2, boom, we hit the ground running. 5 rating, dang. I went to clean out the fridge. I would love for Robin to come back, just stick to watching and let Courtney cook. Yeah, give Courtney a chance. Like I said, hey, season 7, episode 1 wasn't well received. I'm like, look, give these people some time. Why wouldn't Zach and Fatima remain on the show? Yeah, exactly. They're the main draw. Even if they got a spinoff, they're the main draw. Danny's been one of my favorites for a while, but I don't know yet. The way they are writing her with this Tony crap is inexcusable. I can't stand Andy's mom. I'm glad to see the non-repetitive lines. Oh, thank God. Yes, that was a blessing. Bring Robin back. See, the only frustrating part of the episode was the whole Sabrina thing, like dancing around it. But I get it. They had to do that. Bring Robin back, and if they put him together, let him be it. No, him and Andy. No, I do not support that ship. No. Wasn't that dress Cheyenne was wearing in the trailer one of Andy's? The poofy shoulders with Jordan. I'm not going to ignore your comment, but I will say this. Maybe you missed it. Maybe you're just tuning in. About 10 minutes ago, I said, I am done talking about Danny and Tony. We're not doing that here. Like, I've talked about it enough. Their parts of the episode made me so mad, and everything else was so good. I think this might be the last season for the OGs. I could see that. They might slowly begin phasing them out. And I'm not trying to condemn, get Crystal, KJ, and Mignon out of here. Get them out of here. No, I'm just saying, I could see them doing that. Now, would the show last for much longer? I do not know. But I could see the show moving in that direction. Maybe not season 10, but in the near future. I didn't see the dance around it. It seemed like they were moving quickly. Some people didn't like the way they did it, but I don't care. Andy has a rental. We're going to have 3 more episodes on the hospital part. Yeah, it does seem like it. Leave Robin with Penelope, Andy. Yeah, I don't care. Andy has not matured enough. I'll wait for the other new girl to come before I decide whether or not I'll keep watching. That is fair. But I'm so glad, like I said earlier during the live stream, I don't think Cheyenne needed to be in episode 1. I think that they could have waited until after we got past the Sabrina thing and then slowly added Cheyenne and then Madison. I'm glad Madison wasn't forced into this episode. A whole new circle. These things happen. The Avengers changed their lineup. The Justice League changed their lineup. And then in other shows, you might have 1 or 2 characters from the OG series, but then have everybody else around them new. Look at Assisted Living. You got Brown and Cora, and everybody else is new. I mean, in the later seasons of One-on-One, it was Brianna and Arnez. They went to LA to college, and all the other characters they left behind had a whole new cast. Now, the show did not last long after that, but that's just an example. She's going to be the rebellious one. Cheyenne, don't remind me of one-on-one. I personally like, maybe it's nostalgia talking. I did like those final seasons. I did. Yeah, I miss Spirit. I miss Dwayne, but still, All American right now. What? Oh yeah, okay. I've heard of that show. And yes, I believe Cheyenne was in that. Divorced Sisters will return this spring. I don't know when though. Lord, do not mention the Flash. Good Lord, I hated it when they added all them dang characters to Team Flash. I hated those, like those last. Hang on. I love season 1. I think that is debatably the best season. Season 2 was good, but like the last quarter, I didn't really mess with that. Savitar, they dragged that crap way too long. But the first 3 seasons of The Flash were good. Season 4 was frustrating, but season 5, when Excess came in, that's when the show went off a cliff. And plus, they got rid of Elongated Man, Ralph Dibny, who was my favorite character. Yeah, Dwayne made that show. He was hilarious. Grownish did it. Yep. Andy Griffith. Yo, I don't rock with the color seasons. Like after Barney Fife left, I used that example in a video recently too. I said, yeah, after Barney was gone, after the black and white seasons, I don't really watch those episodes. I saw this great video detailing how it seemed like Andy was mad in every episode. But I think that's due to the fact that he didn't like the writers because they didn't know how to really write the show, because the initial show was like built around Andy and Barney. But after he left, it's like it didn't really work. I'm not saying there weren't some good episodes in the colored version of the show. It's just that they do not compare. Like if you look at any top 20 list or greatest Andy Griffith list of episodes, I don't believe any of the color episodes make it, aside from the return of Barney Fife. Do you think Zatima will have as many seasons? Tyler hopes that all these shows have 10 seasons, but I'm like, Tyler, we do not need 10 seasons of The Oval. We do not need 10 seasons of Ruthless. We do not need 10 spinoffs. I don't know. Yeah, Savitar Knight. Enough said. Goober was funny, but he was no Gomer. Plus, didn't he leave to have his own spinoff in the Army? My theory is that Cheyenne will work at the salon with Danny. Well, Danny will own, be like co-owner. Basically, she's going to work with Pam, and maybe by extension, she gets added to the circle. Hey, House of Pain brings in a lot of ad revenue, so they can keep that going for as long as they want. As long as that show does well on my channel and I get paid, I'm cool with it. I think Karen's character will end up on Ruthless. How in the world? Oh, man. I get where Tyler's coming from, since a lot of our long-running shows seem to always stop at 8. Black shows, they're lucky if they get to season 3. They're lucky they get to season 3. I know some people are like, Tyler, we don't need any more sister spinoff. My attitude, how many white shows get a number of spinoffs? If white shows can do it, so can we. That's my thought process. Now, that doesn't mean every single one of them is going to be good, but I'm not going to sit up here and act like black shows don't deserve the same credit. Now, there are some black shows I feel that deserve to be 8, 9 seasons long, more than Sistas. But we do have a Sistas. We do have a show that's running long. So, hey, House of Pain does need to have, more characters and more sets too. They need more sets too. I really wish that he got rid of those shows, Ruthless and The Oval, and do other stuff. Man. The women's group Karen was with felt sort of like a cult. No, I didn't. Tonight's episode moved too slowly. Yeah, see, that's what felt disjointed. When you had Andy literally staring off into space and then everybody around her acting like, it wasn't like a car just exploded. No, she almost died. Sisters can get a lot more spinoffs. A prequel series. Some people are like, yo, give them like a beauty shop spinoff where it's like Maurice, Pam, and Danny. That's another, and Cheyenne. That's another series. I can think of 5 spinoffs and that'll be a video. But Tyler Perry Studios better give me some money though. I pay too much attention to the details in Tyler Perry shows, and Sisters is just bad writing. This is my job. You don't think I do that too? Yeah, I stopped Ruthless at like season 3. I don't. The prequel is what we need more than anything else. Don't get me wrong. I can think of like 7 spinoffs, but yeah. How can Andy just get up from a car explosion, but David had a burnt mark on his entire back? David was direct. See, that's the thing. We don't even know how close Andy was to the explosion. That's the part that got me. Because if she was right up against that car and she didn't have a scratch on her or dirt, that makes no sense. Sabrina's fate is still left up in the air. As of right now, she's in a coma, and that's all we know. And apparently went into code blue. What if OG meets the Brown stop? I would like that, but that's not going to happen. I mean, she could do that. You're not wrong. They could do that. Sabrina's in a coma all season. But I think Sabrina's gone. That's what I think. Fatima belly was showing. I didn't notice. Is Sabrina leaving the show or taking out? I don't know. That's a good question. I'll do speculation video soon. Like I said, tomorrow, I got to take my sister to the police station so she can double check on the police report for the accident, and then take her to CVS to get her pain meds, then take her back home. So, if y'all could bear with me, because like I said, I got to handle that first. Then I gotta, sit down and do the episode review and trailer breakdown. If I'm up for it, because if I can like invest a good 30 minutes, I'll just jot down the notes from the end credit trailer and the trailer that was sent to me. I got to double check. I think it was a 30-second promo, but I might be able to do my trailer breakdown tonight and have it scheduled to post in the morning. But yeah, I will. I'll keep you all posted. So don't freak out if you don't see my episode review and trailer breakdown immediately. Just know I got to do sister stuff, not sister stuff, and I got y'all. Hopefully Sabrina in a coma, then she can come back. Sabrina and Karen's characters are gone. They're doing other projects. Take your time. It's okay. I appreciate it. I love how Courtney be giving us long Zatima scenes. I noticed that too. Do you know why Ebony and Sabrina? I did a video on that. That is almost at 30,000 views. So you might want to check that out. It's called Why Did Ebony, Obsidian, and Novi Brown Leave the Series? Go check it out. The Christian Keys thing, I am holding my tongue for right now. Maybe I'll do a video later. That's not a priority, but I have seen the clips. I have my thoughts, but I will. That's a whole nother thing. Like I said, I have a lot of non-sister stuff to talk about soon. I'm not saying, okay, let me put it this way. I would have been curious to see if Courtney could have written quality storylines for Sabrina and Karen. Sabrina had potential, but literally 2 seasons of her wanting to be a mom, wanting a baby, and wanting sperm. We had to sit through 2 seasons of that. And then all of a sudden, I want to be a hoe. I don't know why Novi left, but if she left because of that terrible writing, I would not blame her. I have no comment on the wigs, okay? I have no comment on the wigs. Yeah, Tony left. They didn't replace her. I mean, anybody could have. Yeah, there is a difference between replacing someone in the sister circle versus just adding new characters. I do agree that maybe they should have just slowly integrated Cheyenne and Madison instead of instantly putting them in the sister spots. Monica, yeah, but Monica wasn't in like the opening credits, I don't believe. I miss Tamara as well, but what can you do? I was thinking that too. Sabrina getting pregnant by Rock. I theorized that the moment Rock came into the picture. I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be a time jump. I am very uncertain about Sabrina in terms of how they'll handle it, if they'll do a funeral or what. I thought they were going to find out Sabrina was pregnant instead of dying. We probably see them after the funeral. I like Tamara. Oh, I liked her for several reasons. Rich and Tony need to be gone. Rich is cool so long as he's just cool with Zach. I don't think they'll do a funeral. Tonight's show was a rush job. I wait for my review. How close together they filmed the finales and the premieres? I don't know. I know that season 10 was filmed immediately after 9 because I think they filmed season 10 like 1 or 2 weeks after. I don't know if they did that like centered around KJ's pregnancy or what. Even if they did a time jump, I don't think they would jump to where Zatima is. They might jump ahead a few weeks, but I don't see them doing a 4-month time jump. The premiere was weak. Yeah, like I said, due to real stuff in my life, I felt the episode more than most. So that's just my thoughts on it. Hayden is supposed to be in this season. The Deadline article said Chris Warren is in this season. Plus, we need Hayden there because I like what he and Fatima got going on at work. Yeah, they said they're done with bruh. I hate that because season 4 was so good. I like Rich and Zach's friendship more than Rich and Tony. Oh, yeah, you can't say his name. Yeah. See, last season, they could have broken up Tony and Danny, and then Zach could have been like the new Jordan, even though I don't know where Jordan would have been, but Jordan, it would have been Zach hanging out with Tony and Rich. But no, they just had to make him a couch potato. I was told that they let go of the idea of bringing bruh back, and I was mad. Somebody told me. Holy crap, the views over the past hour have been great, like over 8,000 views. I guess this live stream is going to do pretty well on the playback. They will make interest in new characters. Yeah, Hayden ain't going nowhere, and he don't need to. He's one of my favorites now. Like I said, season 9, they really did a good job with the B tier comedic characters. To be honest, I don't think the show needs new characters. I can understand that sentiment. It's just that I feel like we need a bit more time to adjust. Like I feel like I I feel like the people behind the show, they're dropping bombs on us like they are dropping bombs on Andy, you know? It's like we need a bit more time before you slap us in the face with these new characters. Like, let us deal with the Sabrina thing. Andy almost died. Sabrina is clinging to life. Karen just left. Can we slowly integrate these characters, not just randomly have them pop up? To be honest, I don't like Andy's mom. I don't know why they wouldn't. Plus, they never said. Yeah, it does feel like an assful. It does. I feel like the explosion would have caused more effect if the trailer didn't reveal that Andy was okay. I agree, but she would be in the promotional material. Like it's like in Avengers Doomsday. You can't hide Robert Downey Jr. You had to promote him in order to sell the movie. I'm more okay with the idea of Cheyenne because she's Andy's sister. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with that. I don't know if they'll limit KJ scenes because, like I said, they filmed this show in like 10 days or less. So I mean, if I can see her having a lot of scenes where she's like sitting down. Remember, they did the same thing with Tinka, Candace and the Haves and the Have-Nots. That particular season, when she was, getting very noticeably pregnant, she was sitting in her car a lot, or she was sitting behind a desk or something. So it's not uncommon for characters to have quote unquote limited roles in the sense of we don't really see them moving around a lot. Yes, 3 major events back to back. I don't care about moms. Yeah, yeah. Her mom's doing too much. Hayden and Fatima working together. Yeah, I'm here for that. Yeah, because it's giving Fatima more to do than to be Andy's, security. Like just because Madam has blue doesn't mean Andy needs a Fatima. I'm wondering what storylines are they going to give to other characters. Me too. I mean, Cheyenne is broken down as a character who we'll get to know more of as the show moves forward. We're going to peel back the layers, learn about the beef between her and Andy. So that'll be interesting. Fatima's like a bodyguard and muscle. Yeah, and it's like you're pregnant. Take care of yourself. Like, I don't know what I'd do without you, Fatima. Let's hope you never find out. Yeah, this is the same woman you were mad at because she was doing good at her job last season. Good Lord. Oh, yeah, I agree. I do prefer Miss Marie over Valerie. So it's like her mom only showed up to introduce her sister. Fatima needs to become a lawyer. I agree. I still don't think Andy was just up to. You can't convince me otherwise. You can't convince me otherwise. Yeah, they got to do a time jump in order to make her a lawyer. Yeah, the comic relief is necessary. The circle is toxic. I don't know. I'm not saying it isn't, but with Sabrina gone and Karen gone, I think the dynamic of the circle is going to shift for the better. I think it's going to shift for the better. They have not said anything about Fatima being in school. Yeah, she's in law school. Yeah. Yep. Okay, folks. Well, first of all for showing up and making this a very successful live stream. I hate to cut it. I can't say short. We were here for over an hour. But like I said, I got to go to sleep early because I got to carry my sister to the police station and to get her medicine. And I want to get out there. I want to leave here around. I want to wait for like buses to get off the road. So I'll leave here around 8:30ish, go pick her up, and then hopefully be back here well before noon. So thank you for the prayers and thoughts after her accident. I'll keep you posted, all that good stuff. Like I said, insurance is going to handle a lot. She's going to get a new vehicle, all that good stuff. I think I'm going to pass on doing my trailer breakdown right now. Like I said, I think it's best if I go to sleep, wake up, do what I need to do tomorrow, and I'll keep you in the loop. Also, Friday, I have already scheduled a number of House of Pain shorts. So Friday, you're going to get a whole bunch of House of Pain posted. Also, Beyond the Gates review. I got videos scheduled on that channel to drop between tomorrow and next week. So if you watch Beyond the Gates review, that's me. Go check out that channel. Trying to hit 12,000 subscribers by the end of the month. We only need like 250. So make sure you thumbs up the video. Hit the notification bell. I don't want you to miss out when I post content. You're going to get your season premiere review, trailer breakdown, and I'll have a number of discussion videos and shorts. But as always, I appreciate the support, and I hope you all have a great night.